if we're ready to get started, it is Wednesdays with Wendy and Lisa. It's a thing. We're super glad that you all jumped on with us tonight. So I'm not going to do announcements tonight. I want to make sure that we have enough time for our guest to speak and questions that we might have at the end. Lisa and I have dedicated the whole month of March to mindset. And last week we had a great call. Lisa taught us some things. She was amazing. She said awfully nice things about me, which was really cool. And so I'm going to reciprocate tonight because that's part of our education for you guys. And I'm just going to start. I have one announcement, and that is that our forfeit group starts again on March 15th. And so if you're not a part of forfeit group, you need to be a part of forfeit group. It is amazing. It's a ever growing and ever changing animal. It gets better every month. Last month was super cool. We had recipes. We had folks that lost a couple that lost a combined weight of 36 pounds. 36 pounds. They're off their cholesterol medication. We just have people, lives are being changed. It's a super fun, really easy, low pressure group to be a part of that's getting big results for folks who are inviting. So if you haven't started inviting, invite. If you're not a part of it, reach out to me or Lisa. We can get you the hookup. It's super fun. Starts again on March 15th. So I want to talk a little bit about mindset. So last week, Lisa went into talking about our friendship and how we play off of each other, and as a business that we're building together, how that works. And so one of the really cool things that Lisa does for me, last week, Lisa talked about how I help her to find perspective, right? I'm a big picture person. Lisa can sometimes get bogged down in details. And so I will just be able to look at her and say, this is what's really important out of all of this. And that's so cool. I love that part of our relationship. What I also love about our relationship is I wouldn't say I'm fearful. I'm shy. I don't really like to let people in. I don't really like to let people know a whole lot about me. And I don't like to put myself out there a lot. I'm always afraid to do that. And so that's where Lisa comes in. Lisa, she's my husband and Lisa. It's really scary, you guys, how similar they are. It's almost kind of creepy. Anyway, but they're the same. Whatever is here comes directly out here. Most of the time there's not a filter, and they're fearless. And so they do. And so Lisa is that person for me. I will say to her, I want to do this, but this and this and this. And Lisa will be like, what? This is what you're doing. And she will just lay it all out there for me. You're doing this, you're saying this, you're sending them that. And this is what's going to happen when they say this. I mean, she does all of that where I would already been all bogged down into why it's not going to work, why they're not going to like me, why I'm going to look stupid, why I'm not going to be smart enough, or any of those things. And Lisa, just none of that even matters to her. She something, she sees it, she wants it, she gets it. And she teaches me that. And so when we're looking at each other, when we're working with each other, that's what we bring to each other. And the cool thing about Plexus is that you guys all can have that. You don't have to have a really long time being best friends to get that. You don't have to have over 20 years, over 30 years of being best friends to get that. You can build those relationships with folks that are on your team, with your upline, with your sideline sisters. You know, I have folks, Jamie's is going to be one of those people. Jamie's also somebody who helps me to be bold. Jamie is also someone who will be very direct with me when I'm probably being a little wishy-washy and a little afraid to stick my toes in the water. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that relationship. And so I encourage you, as we're building this business, it's not just about sharing products. It's not just about the paycheck that you're getting. It's not just about customers and ambassadors. All those things are important. It's really about building relationships. It's about filling your life and surrounding yourself with people who support and encourage you. That's all part of changing your mindset. And I don't remember, one of you probably does, who it is that says it, but you are probably, where you are in life is probably most like the closest 5 people in your life. So if you take a look at the people that you surround yourself and find yourself surprised at where you are, You know, if you're not where you want to be, maybe you need to look at adding some people to that circle of influence and changing your mindset through those relationships. I already have that with my best friend, but I'm also getting that with different folks that I have met through Plexus. And so that's something that I wanted to share with you guys before we got started. And I have a little video, and you guys know I'm still learning, so bear with me. Hopefully it goes better than last week. Hopefully I don't play some weird thing for you that I'm going to share with you. Here we go. It's very short, you guys.
When you get up each morning and get ready for work, you have a choice. Do you want to go to work with a growth mindset in which you say to yourself, I believe in myself and I know that my talents and abilities can be improved and developed through effort and dedication. I love learning, and today is another opportunity to learn and become better at what I do, who I am. Or are you going to go to work with a fixed mindset today? A mindset that speaks to you like this. I have to prove to everyone that I'm smart, that I'm worthy. I have to be perfect, or the gig will be up. That's a fixed mindset. Choose a growth mindset today and every day. Say to yourself, no matter what challenges come my way today, I will be positive and I will be open to learning. I will see in my experiences ways for me to develop at work and as a human being. It doesn't matter if I get cut off in traffic. It doesn't matter if the printer is jammed or if my coffee spills. My outlook and my mood are my choice. I choose today and every day a mindset in which I don't know it all and there is still more to learn. Everyone is my teacher, my colleagues, my boss, even my competitors. I open my mind, eager to learn from them. Each meeting I attend, each email I respond to, each conversation I have. There is something to learn, and I graciously open my mind and my heart to receive the lessons of today. I look to the people in my life, all of them, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and even the ones who annoy me, yes, even them, to shine light on something not noticed before today. Today is a chance to learn. Today is a chance to grow. Today is a chance to bring my best to my work and learn in the process. I am not the result of what happens to me. I have a choice. In every single moment, I have a choice. I choose a growth mindset.
So I have permission from my husband to talk about this just a little bit because I saw this video and then I talked with Corey. So Corey and I are two completely different animals. And what used to happen every morning, we get up at the same time to go to work, and I do my things and Corey does his things. So it's vastly different. I get up in the morning and I do a short Bible study. I work out. I listen to sermons as I'm walking around the house doing things. And then before we leave for work every day, we grab each other's hands and we pray over the day. And we pray for blessings, we pray for our family, and then we also pray that we have our hearts and minds open to whatever it is that God has in store for us, and that when God brings people into our paths, that we don't miss opportunities to learn from them or to love on them or to serve them in some way. So that's a prayer that we say every day. It wasn't always this way. So it used to be like this in our house in the morning. I would get up and I would do all those things. And Lisa knows this because she's known me long enough. I am that person. I get out of bed and I am up and I'm happy and I'm excited about the day. And when you walk into the room, I'm going to start talking to you. And sometimes it's very overwhelming for folks who need a minute. Corey is the guy that needs to get up and have coffee and sit in his chair and just kind of take inventory before he gets to the next level. When we leave the house in the morning, it used to be, I'd be like, okay, see you later. Have a great day. Love you. And he's like, job, I hate this job. It sucks to drive all the way there. I work with, they're stupid. I'm so bored. I got nothing to learn from work. Oh my God. And by the time we got home from work, I walk in the door. Hey, how was your day? Had a great day. It was awesome. Tell him all the good things. And he's sitting in the chair rocking. My day was awful. It was terrible. But it was all about how we set ourselves up for the day, right? Like I, from the minute I get out of bed in the morning, am setting myself up for a successful day from the get-go. I'm believing for good things. I'm believing for influence. I'm believing for blessings. I'm believing for all those things. Corey was believing it was just going to be another crappy day. And mindset, exactly what this video talks about, is making sure that you can change the language in your mind. You can tell yourself, I'm going to have a crappy day, and list all the reasons why you will, and you probably will. You can tell yourself you're not good at selling Plexus, you're not a great leader, you're not all those things, and you probably won't be. Or you can choose to tell yourself, I have everything that it takes to be a strong leader. I have everything that it takes to be a good friend, a good wife, a good mother, a good sister, all of those things. It's all about how you set yourself up for success. And it's funny because both of us will talk about Corey's days have gotten so much better now that we have stopped to take 5 minutes to grab each other's hands, to pray, to be thankful, and to set ourselves up for a successful day. So that is all I had for you guys today. I'm super excited to bring Jaime on for our call this evening because Jamie's just the bomb. She is. Jaime made our leaderboard last month. I was so excited. I was so proud to see that. Jamie's one of those people that I won't take away from too much of what you do, Jaime, but I want to say that one of the things I truly admire is Jaime really marches to the beat of her own drum. She has a way that she wants to do things. She does them consistently. She's somebody that you can always count on. She shows up, she's prepared, she's ready, she's knowledgeable, she's open, and it shows because she's on the leaderboard, and it shows because you don't get the benefit of knowing where she ends up every month, but I do because she's my upline. So we communicate, we talk about these things, and I know how successful she's been with getting new customers and retaining customers and then converting those customers. She's having absolutely an amazing year already, and we're only in March. And so I'm just super excited for Jaime to share with us what she's doing, what it is that's working for her, what it is that she's doing that are helping, because really people trust Jaime. That is the thing. If I could pick one thing that I know is true, because I trust Jaime, people trust Jaime. And I think that it really shows in how her business is continuing to grow. So before I say more and say all the things that you're going to say,
with you saying that, I love that we're on the same page with that, because I actually made my whole list of things, and I started off with mindset. And so truly appreciate you, Lisa and Wendy, that you guys talk about mindset, because what really happens with all of that is just how I enter into this process of sharing these products. I always go in for the standpoint and the mindset of have confidence in yourself. I'm not here to prove that these products work. I am not here to convince anyone. I am not here to get into an argument about them. I am extremely firm and know from my own experience with these products that they do work, because they did change my life, and they continue to change my life every single day. So when I go out and share these things, I'm always just being myself and being that with people. So when they have contact with me, who I am in person, who I am on my Facebook page, it is all authentic all the way through. So it doesn't look like I'm being, salesy to people. People, when they reach out to you and want to learn about the products and everything, they reach out to you specifically because they like who you are. So although great messages across the board, always take the time to personalize them to who you are, so they don't feel like they're being sold to. So if you have trouble with your confidence, believe me, a lot of us here have been doing this for a very long time. So I have messed up things big, and it's one of them. The last about 2 years, I've really just put my head down and been like, you know what, no one's going to talk me out of how great these products are. No one is going to ever talk me out of what I experienced through these products. And if they're not open to hear what I have to say, then they're just not ready yet. So don't take it as a no with everyone, you guys. They're just not ready yet to hear your story or connect with you. So some of the things that I do when I do share, I keep everything about that person. I really try to take me out of the equation altogether. Although you always have that gut thing of you want it so bad for this person. But I realized through the whole process of this and how many times I share and connect with people that they have to find the buy-in themselves. They have to find the buy-in when it's right for them, and actually have the commitment level that they're going to need to succeed on the products. So I always make my conversations about their goals, their commitment to the products, and most of all, their expectations. So when we're talking about things and they think they're going to lose 25 pounds in 1 month, I'm going to be the person to say, you know, that's an amazing goal and we're going to do that together, but that's not going to happen in the first month. You're going to be committed to doing those things, you know, through this whole length of time. You know, together we're going to work on and personalize that for you. But I just want to make sure that expectation isn't too high, because let's be real, it took us many years to get to where we are with our gut health and being unhealthy. So I want to make sure the expectation is there, that they realize they need to commit, and it's going to be a longer term goal that they're going to be working together with me. I do everything as a with me. They get me with part of their products. I'm like that free thing that doesn't go away. So I just make sure that they realize that they're doing this, you know, together with me. One of the things that I learned with this is definitely posting every once in a while stories on my or on my through my story, or even just on my page. And then when I message them, I can say, "Hey, Wendy, I hope you caught my belly post today about the person with serious issues. I know you struggle with that. I thought of you when I posted it. Check it out and let me know what you think." I learned that through the ladies help me here, what they call their thing that we all joined. I'm blanking out with the ladies that we kept doing the challenges with. Gibson, help me.
Momentum movement.
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, so that's one of the things that they taught within there. And I'm like, you know what? That is really, really smart. So just whatever you're posting throughout your day, message people and say, hey, I hope you caught that. I was thinking of you. Let me know when you check it out. And then you can follow up again. Because remember, your contacts with people, you're going to be having ongoing conversations with people. One of the things when it comes to that, and I ask about their goals or their expectations, is they're going to want to lose weight. They're going to want to have some energy. They're going to have this whole list of things. And so I'm going to say to them, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are perfect for the triplex. MetaBurn, X Factor, Mega X is going to accomplish all those goals. But guess what? We're not going to do all that at once. We're going to focus on getting your energy first so you can get off the couch, and then we're going to work on those other things that are on the goals. Because what I found is people buy the whole thing, then they sit there and stare at the whole thing, and they don't use any of it because they don't even know where to begin. So when I tell them, I'm going to tell them, you're going to take it all because you're going to love it all and you're going to need it all. But let's focus on energy and getting you some sleep before we start healing your gut, because we all know healing your gut is a whole process. So I try to focus on maybe 1, 2, or 3 of their top things, and then be like, later on, you know, in a month or 2, we're going to start addressing these other issues. That way it's a smaller step for them to get going and get committed with. I also found when you take things away from people, people want them. So I tell them, oh no, you're not going to buy the triplex in the lean and the active. You're going to love the active. But I keep those things of letting them know all these products work, but I take them away from them because believe me, they're going to want to come back and be like, no, I really do want to buy them all. So just so you know that sometimes taking those things away does help with it. I'm just checking my notes because I wanted to stay on target, because sometimes I go a little flighty with things that pop in my head. Oh, I know. So when we do focus on the gut health, I always make sure that I celebrate the victories of die-off. I'm going to say, Lisa, I know you're going to experience possible headaches or sleep being interrupted, or sometimes going to the bathroom too often. Make sure you tell me when you experience those. I know it sounds completely crazy, but we're going to celebrate them things, because it means the products are working and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So I always try to clue them in on some of those things that we kind of, when we hear about them starting to experience things, we're like, oh crap, they're going through die-off. But we know it. For us being experienced with these products, we know. So I let them know ahead of time of, hey, let me know when you are experiencing these couple things. Or I always let them know of, what is one thing, I ask them a question, what is one thing that always happens to you when you get completely run down? Like for me, when I get completely run down or completely stressed out or something along that, I'll get sinus infections and I'll get cold sores. So like my sister Carla, she'll have some breathing issues with her asthma. So I asked the person, because those are probably most likely the one thing that's going to happen to them when they start experiencing die-offs. So I just really learned to, when they start experiencing them things, I celebrate them. And I tell them, you're going to think I'm completely nuts because we're completely celebrating these things. But believe me, it means the products are working and they're doing exactly what we knew they were going to do. So that way they don't think like they're allergic to it or some other things, because they already Googled 100 things and already think they're dying before they ever contacted you. So it let you know these things are happening. So most important thing, you guys, still remain these people's friends. Talk to them about friend stuff. Don't make your contacts all about Plexus. When I ask them questions about Plexus and they don't respond to me, I learn really quick to be like, hey, Wendy, I hope you drank your pink drink today because I know you're going to feel awesome when you do. And tell me more about your puppy, or tell me more about, you know, your dog or your kids or something, because they have to answer that part. They have to acknowledge that you asked them something personal specifically to them. Otherwise, they kind of float over the whole Plexus thing. They read it, they don't want to follow up, they don't want to admit to you that they're not sticking with the products. They don't want to admit to you that they ate a half sheet of cake. And that's why they're, you know, those kind of things. They don't want to be held accountable and they don't want to let you down. So they're not going to tell you. But if you ask them personal questions in with this, you know, they have to answer those things. The biggest thing about that I can tell you is make sure you're incorporating all these products and basically everything about you is Plexus. I don't post as much about Plexus as I used to, because believe me, everybody knows I'm Plexus. So when I message them just alone, like, hey, I just thought of you, I hope you're having an amazing Friday, they're gonna remember that I represent Plexus. And they most likely they'll say something along those lines of, oh my gosh, I need to order soon, or they connect already in their minds, me and Plexus. So I don't always have to constantly remind them that I'm their Plexus person. So keep your friendships with them. Once they say yes, then that's when it's really beginning, you guys. So don't think you got the yes and now it's going to be just really great. Keep the friendship, keep the everything in check. Your guys' fit, even though I'm not a part of your fit group, you guys do an excellent job being a part of that community. And you're having great success with that because they know that they joined you and they're watching you stay committed to your goals and everything. So I think it's really important, like Wendy and Lisa, you guys do that really well, even Laura, and I can't see who's all on because I'm on my phone, but when you guys connect with that, and Amanda, you guys are literally reminding them that, hey, I'm doing this alongside of you. I'm holding out, I'm using the products, I'm staying committed. It's just not my leader who's doing it or putting on these events. I'm participating in this community too and doing it right alongside of it. That way the person knows, I think at least, they know a lot of this, and the success with these products depend on their own commitment. I was just reached out with one of my ambassadors today. She's coming back, and she knows that her problem throughout the whole process was she just wasn't committed to using the products, you know, and staying committed with it. And I told her, you know, after sitting for 2.5 hours of just catching up on life and then talking about these products, but she said right away, I am now at the point of being committed and sticking with it. So each time she shied away, you know, obviously I was very sad because I knew they'd make a difference, but really what it all comes down to these yeses is them finally be committed in their timing with it. So I know so many of us want it for people and we want them to experience what we've all experienced, but sometimes it just takes a really long time. So most people know it's been 7 years for me coming up in May and June that I joined Plexus, and I still have brand new people, as you guys can tell, that are finally coming around. I don't know why they wasted 7 years. Honestly, I can't even imagine what took them so long. Krista asked me one time and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. So I don't understand why this takes like a whole 7 years for people, but just be committed, have your confidence in these products. You know they work and they'll come around, I promise.
Jaime, that was awesome. So I have a question, and everybody really, I don't have you all muted. So if you have a question, just unmute yourself. Feel free to ask. That's why we have Jaime here, is to learn from her. So I want to know, do you have a system? Do you have, like Lisa has like a calendar that she uses, and she writes everything that she does, and it's a weekly thing. What is your systems? Because, you know, you have a large customer base. So what's your system for making sure that you're reaching out to those customers on a regular basis?
I always reach out at least once a month, and I do use what Plexus sends you alerts. If you pay attention to them, they actually text you and tell you when to follow up with people. But I always try to just check in every time I get the email that they place their order again. I just make sure in a couple of days and be like, oh my gosh, your pink drink's on the way again. I'm so excited that you're staying committed because it's going to help you with this and this. Or even just friends in general. I'll just check in with them. This sounds really odd to my personality because I am such a list maker. But I kind of just let that stuff flow on its own. And if I'm thinking of you when I'm doing my hair in the bathroom, I literally stop what I'm doing because I think God's talking to me, and I just message them real quick. So I'm kind of flighty about that part, which isn't really my personality, but I really listen to those little nudges when somebody's in my head, or just pops in. I listen and I drop what I'm doing and I message them.
Does anybody else have a question they want to jump in and ask Jaime? We have 10 minutes left, folks.
Okay. Is that because I'm talking? Okay. Wendy asked my question. So that's very bizarre to me. Like, I am so shocked by that. Mm-hmm. I would have thought with that many customers to take care of, like you would like, so, but it's working. So that's awesome. Yeah. I've never thought.
And what I find is when you make yourself a list to say, what is tomorrow, Thursday morning at 5 a.m., you're going to message Veronica and you're going to ask her about your pink drink. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'll be like, I just don't want to do this. Do you know what I mean? You have those moments of, no, I don't want to force this. This now sounds like it's a scripted, hey girl, how's your pink drink? Mm-hmm. Like, that is not me. That is not how I talk to people. So I have to, when I get into a mode of, like Wendy wakes up like that bright, cheery, full person. When I've had 2 cups of coffees, I might become that person. And that's when I got that vibe going on. That's when I'm going to use that vibe 100%. I mean, I'm going to message 20 people because my vibe is good. Nobody's talking me out of these products. I just think I'm Superwoman, and that's when I do it. So find those moments when you are just having the best day ever and get hard to work. Put your head down and get to work so you use up every one of them vibes, because people can feel it. They really can. They can tell when you're just going through the motions and when you really, are doing things from your heart.
Okay. So my question is, when you start a preferred customer and you say you want to do the system or whatever, but we're just going to start with this. Are you starting with more than one product? Are you, so kind of.
Yep. So I'm a huge component with Slim. I think the triplex is absolutely amazing. I wish everybody would start there, but what I found out is people can't stay committed and really see the long drawn picture out with them of what it can do for them. They give up. People give up on things. So I always try to stick with energy. Everybody across the board wants to feel better and get off the couch. So you'll hear me, well, you won't hear me say it, but my people hear me say it within my messages. I'm always like, you know what? Let's just get you feeling better. Let's get you out there walking. Let's get you sleeping at night. So I'm either a Slim Metaburn or a Slim Accelerator and maybe an X Factor or something along that, but I keep it smaller just to get them to start moving.
Okay. And how do you decide Metaburn or Accelerator?
I let them decide. I said, this is what this product does. This is what my husband, Mark, has lost 30 pounds on Metaburn. Absolutely loves the product, will not be without it. I like Accelerator better. It works better for me. Let's read about the benefits of both and let's pick what you think will work best. If one doesn't work, we have the option always to switch to the other one.
Okay. Got it. So that's awesome. Okay. If somebody else has one, I had written some things down. You can interject.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Sherry.
My question is, you touched on, oh wow, you touched on a lot of great points. It was awesome. But my question is, when you said they trust, and I feel like, because I reach out to people, even people that I have and signed up, people that's on my team, people that I am currently engaging with. I interact with them about their families. It's not just Plexus, how the family doing or things like that, because they know me, and I know them. But I still believe that they just don't really trust me, even though I have made some major strides in my health. As far as dealing with diabetes and not having to take medicine and things like that, and being off of blood pressure medicine, that is major praise right there. But I don't know. I just think that that could be the component that's lacking there.
And when Wendy says that I'm a lot like Lisa, that I'll just say things, I just ask the hard questions. I'll just say, hey, I don't mean to step out of line here, but I just got to ask you, what's holding you back? And so I ask the hard ones or I'll be like, I'm saying this with love. But I know that there'd be so much success with this. You tell me that you have this and this, and why would you, what's stopping you from doing that? So I take me out of the equation completely and just ask them within themselves, either they're not trusting or maybe they're just embarrassed and they just don't find the time to do it. They might not think they're worth $100 to spend that on themselves. I've had enough customers, if something was wrong with their child, they will spend on ungodly, so to say, amount of money. But when it comes to themselves, they just don't think they're worth it. So I always try to put those on my Facebook's, a lot of just things out there, people believing in themselves and finding and connecting and being positive. And sometimes maybe it goes a little bit deeper than that, but they just don't think that they're, worthy of it. It might be something that you completely don't have any control over. And that's where I'll say that everyone, when they're committed, when they're ready, it's not going to be our timing, but always when they're ready to do it.
Absolutely.
Good question, Sherry.
Thank you.
Yeah, that boldness, that's really important.
Well, and what I learned was some people that were complete strangers, I was even bolder with because I had no emotional tie to them. They never saw me in person. So when I asked some of the hard questions, I'm like, wow, why don't I do that to people I love? Why wouldn't I say that to somebody who's my friend and just ask those things? But we bring so much of our own personal connection, no matter how confident you guys are. You want to be accepted. You want people to like you. So sometimes strangers are easier to deal with because you don't have a history with them. You don't have to see them at Piggly Wiggly when you go grocery shopping, so sometimes, but I learned I was really bold with people who were completely strangers. And I'm like, why don't I show up in the same type of boldness with people that I love?
We have 3 minutes, folks. Anybody else have a question?
I have a quick one. When you're helping a preferred customer, do you walk them through the ordering or do you do it for them?
Always them. I want them to always, because I always lead with preferred customer. You are in control of your order. I don't normally, I shouldn't say allow because it's a bad word, but I don't want anybody ordering retail. I always tell them you don't want to pay the highest price. You want to be a preferred customer with an order that you control. That's why I make them then log in, and go through it. If they need help through the process, that's great. But I want them to understand that they have the ability to turn things on and off, and they really do control that order.
Okay. And so when you upgrade them with a deal, they're very happy, I'm sure.
Yes. And I have a lot of customers because I don't always go for the ambassador portion of it. I explain everything to them. When I go to ambassador, I make sure that they want to share with other people, or they're going to be consistent with their 100 PV. So we're all benefiting from it. So that might be another reason why I have, so many customers, is because I lay it out for them. And then I truly let them choose what's best for them. Believe me, you guys, I want to go emerald. I want to go sapphire. I want to go diamond. I want to do everything that everybody else is doing. But when I stepped back and took me out of the equation and really just made it about them and what they chose with it, it lined up better.
I like that.
And actually, Jamie posted something just recently in the Heroes page that's a really great message idea to send to your folks that are ambassadors that aren't reaching 100 PV every month. I will grab it and drop it in our Business Builders chat because it was so good, Jamie. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else? We have 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Well, that was wonderful, Jamie. I always sign people, and I guess I'm missing the training portion of that part, because I just always think that my customer, they got to have a welcome pack, and it's okay to sign as a preferred customer.
Yeah, and I'm one when I have a brand new ambassador, I don't always seek for them to go silver right away. I always want them to get that customer in case they fall behind or fall below the 100 PB. So they always have a buddy with them also ordering. So it always kind of goes hand in hand. So I love getting customers for people.
That's a good idea, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get cut off. So I'm just going to pop in here quick. I'm going to say thank you so much, Jaime Lynn. I love you. I'm so grateful for you to hop on. It was so that we're going to have you on again very soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.